Hey guys, welcome to the Photo Crafter. Today we're going to talk about blending modes. Now, it's suggested that whenever you're using a blending mode, you're blending it with the layer underneath. So I just wanted to get that out of the way so you understood why you might use it or in what way you might use it. Okay, so right now here we have a background layer. This image is already edited. This is just an example of blending modes. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is make a copy of your background, and you actually don't have to do that. You can use one of these adjustment panels and then use the blending mode here, and it'll affect everything underneath it. So let's see if we go to darken. That didn't do a whole lot. Let's try multiply. That really darkened it. Let's go to color burn. Wow, that really went even darker. Okay, so these are your darkening blending modes. These are your lightening. That sounded like I said lightning, but these will lighten your image. And then here are some other things like soft light overlay. Sometimes you will purchase a like bubbles or another overlay like sun flare or something, and it'll come on a black background. It'll look a little something like this. These are some that I bought from Bellevue Avenue. Amazing shop to buy from. Awesome overlays. Okay, anyway, it'll look like that and it'll have this black background. Well, you're laying it on top and then you're going to change the blending mode. So let me show you how I do that. So once you have it opened, I just pull it down like this and then just slide it over. Easy enough, right? And then I exit out and I don't need it anymore. I can go to my free transform and move it to the size that I need. Lay it on top. And then usually these come with instructions, but it'll typically say to go to screen. Do you see how all the bubbles are there now? But you don't see that big black background. Now, one thing you need to know whenever you're using these blending modes is that you can use a layer mask, which is very important, and I guess I need to do an entire video on just layer mask because it'll really change your work completely if you understand a layer mask. So if you click this button that looks down like a camera down here, that'll apply a layer mask. And what it's going to allow you to do is use your paintbrush and whatever the color the opposite, like I have it on black right here. If you use your paintbrush, sorry, that made noise. You can take off some of the bubbles where you don't need them. See, you wouldn't want a big bright bubble on top of her face. Let's say you wanted them all here, or maybe you didn't. Let's take them off. So you're going to use your paintbrush and you're just painting black on this mask. So essentially you're putting a layer on top of the bubbles that's going to allow you to kind of get rid of some. And then I like using this layer mask because if you switch it back to white, if you've made a mistake, you can bring it back. Okay, a lot of people don't use layer mask until they get way deep into photography, but if you learn this right away, it'll really change your work. Okay, so that's how to apply an overlay that you've purchased by using a blending mode on screen. I'm going to show you another couple of blending modes. Let me just get rid of that. If I pull it down and make a copy, then I have another copy of my layer and I can use blending modes to do whatever I want with it. Let's say I wanted to darken some of the shadows. Well, that's pretty dark, right? So if I lower it and I make, oh yes, nice dark shadows. Okay, great. But I don't want it dark everywhere. So if I put a layer mask on, then I can switch it to the opposite color. And then I can get rid of it where I didn't want it. Let's say I didn't like it on my sky, didn't like it on the kids. Right there, and I just wanted it down here at the bottom. Let's see, my brush is on hard. I don't want that. You never want that when you're masking. Well, I say never. There are times when you do need it. Obviously, I did need it. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so it's still very dark. See, I still have it on multiply blending mode. And it's really dark. I'm just lowering it a little bit. Now let's say I put my blending mask on, and I want to choose where I put the darkness. So let me put it really strong so you can see. Let's say I want to be able to choose where I put it. So what you're going to do, I just Control I, and it inverted it. And I guess if you have a Mac, you would do Alt I. And then you use the opposite color, white. And let's say I want to just make all the shadows like really dark. See, I'm just going to make all these just really dark. Click around and paint. Use your artist eye and really get creative. Become an artist and create your own piece of work. Oh, I like these, making these watermelons even darker. That's fun. I really hope you can see that. See what it did with that? I like that. That actually is even better. I should have done that before. I don't know why I did it. Okay, anyway, I hope that helps. Let me do one where the background is lightened. Okay, lightened didn't work. Sometimes you got to kind of play with these. Oh, screen. Wow, that's pretty big. Okay, I don't know where I would want to use this. Maybe on their white shirts if I wanted to make this a little bit brighter. But probably not that bright, right? I don't know where I might want to use it, but let's just use it right here in the sky. So I'll invert it like I did. Control I, put it to black. I'll use the white brush. And then we'll make this area really bright again. Let's see. Before and after. So you see where you could use this just to get really creative. And see, I brushed it onto her face, and I don't like that. Go back, you flip it to the black, and then you rub it off of her. That's why these layer masks are so important. You need to be able to make adjustments and changes, because you're not always going to like what you do, and sometimes you just need to take a step backwards without getting rid of everything. Anyway, okay, that's that. I hope I helped. I hope you guys got some good information, and good luck.